Spoilers. Like, nothing but spoilers. Why you're here if you haven't completed the MSQ yet, I have no idea. But before you leave, make sure you subscribe to the channel, otherwise I'm going to have to mark you as absent from your lore classes from now on. And neither of us want that now, do we? Hello my friends, and welcome back to the channel. I feel like the lore analysis of the 6.1 patch trailer did so well, and I liked the conversation that was in the comments, so we're going to try this again with the 6.2 lore channel breakdown for Final Fantasy XIV's newest upcoming patch. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Ah yes, the nudity.
There was once light here, and it shone its warmth upon creation. The lands were green and the seas were blue.
Looks vibrant to me.
Life flourished.
I love the harpsichord, by the way. Great choice.
This is where I belong. My home. This endless darkness you call the void.
Okay, so first few notes. I think it's funny they opened with someone monologuing about the void, but showed the vibrancy of the island sanctuary. That was a funny choice. This land was once vibrant and beautiful. As the minions run around, chocobos frolic and quack. Though anyone who listened to my panel at LunarCon will remember that I talked about how inconsistent the places like Isle of Vilbrand are when it comes to its size and scope. Did you notice just how huge the island sanctuary is? It's massive. I am very curious to see what the island sanctuary has to offer. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, it's going to be like Harvest Moon X Final Fantasy or Animal Crossing X Final Fantasy, and I honestly, I'm going in with zero expectations, so I'm curious to see what they planned for it. However, what is interesting me is this character, this Reaper that's talking about the Void. Is this a resident of the 13th? It's not beyond the realm of possibility. We had characters like Unakalhai from early expansions, as well as Silva from Shadowbringers. Both were residents of the Void. So, or the 13th Shard, I should say. So, it's not beyond the realm of possibility that there's more of them. At all. It's not beyond the realm of possibility. So, very curious to see what's going on. Been happening in the Void ever since we've kind of shaken things up with the Cloud of Darkness, Diablos, and all that nonsense. There it is.
Death doesn't exist in this world.
It's another death they want.
Okay, so that was very clearly the elemental archfiend of Earth, Scarmiglione, from Final Fantasy IV. If some of you recall from one of my earlier videos, after seeing Golbez, I said that those four elemental entities are very well probably going to be the elemental archfiends. And we were right. It wasn't exactly hard to guess, but there it is. They even got the sword into the fight, so that's going to be fun. If I remember correctly, Scarmiglione, aside from being an Earth Fiend, used curses, I believe. So maybe watch out for doom or potential harrowing status effects throughout that fight.
I say we give it to them.
That is mine!
Sultana, what are you doing out of the castle again? I swear, this potato does everything in her power to get out of her responsibilities as the Queen of Ul'dah. But to be fair, the city-state is mostly run by the Syndicate anyway, so she probably has a lot of free time on her hands. But I do find it entertaining how often she wants to go out and explore things. If she wasn't the Sultana, I could easily see her as an adventurer. What job do you think the Sultana would be? Like, comment in the comment section what job you think the Sultana would most likely become if she was an adventurer. Alright, now this one immediately caught my eye. I personally don't understand why we keep going back to Ultima Thule. The MSQ did a really good job of wrapping up everything we did there and why. Not to mention the entities we meet there aren't even real. They are shadows of shadows, fragments of memories, of souls Medion has been hoarding for countless years now. They aren't real. And I believe, if memory serves, the monsters you fight in Ultima Thule only drop Dynamis crystals. They don't drop actual materials. They just drop Dynamis crystals, proving that they are entities without form. They are just hardened Dynamis. They aren't, like, physical. Or material, I should say. So I don't know why we keep coming back to entertain what are essentially puppets. Unless the writers plan on making them more than puppets in the future. Maybe they become something greater than a shadow now that Medion is gone. Who knows? But yes, I do find it personally very strange as to why we keep going back to Ultimate Thule for these entities. Though, honestly, I don't need a huge reason to go back to Ultima Thule. The music in that region is absolutely fantastic.
The crystal, which showed the way to Meteon. And who better to bear Heidine's gift than her chosen champion?
I am here. Finally here. And I will find you, sister.
Okay, so just so y'all understand, I'm still banking on the notion that the Shadow Dragon that Golbez is known for having around in Final Fantasy IV is going to end up being Azdaia later on. So I don't think we're going to see Azdaia in this patch, or if we do see her, it's going to be at Golbez's side. So that's where my money's going. You place your bets as to where Azdaia is, but that's mine. Also, saw the Hildebrand legs. Always excited to see more Hildebrand. Love those side quests.
You're not the only ones who can ride the wind.
Okay, already impressed with this choice right here. Okay, so as many of you know, Cait Sith is, or was, the familiar of Cessair Blackwind. And she was one of Mach's greatest void mages. She was one of the greatest void mages Mach had ever seen. She had an entire entourage of students with her. So if anyone was to know something tricky or nuanced about the Void, it would be Cessair, or rather her familiar, Cait Sith. Really, really glad to have Cait Sith back and probably dump some Void knowledge on us for this patch. I love it when they don't just forget about old plot ties. Cait Sith has every reason to be here and to tell us something about the 13th.
then go and impress upon these interlopers the futility of
Please keep Xenos dead. Please. Wait a minute. Is that the same sight the girl was holding? I'll ponder that for later, but no. Let Lane Xenos' lie, okay? He had his run. Hopefully this patch will finally put that last nail in his coffin for me.
Shall see my wish fulfilled. Let's sink sorrow into your heart. Rest eternal in the dark depths of this prison.
Okay. Well, everyone, that was the trailer. As we can see, that last little bit was the 8-man trial. He may have gone plumb crazy long before the Sundering, so who knows? Very curious to see what has driven him to such desperate measures. Is it something interpersonal? Is it some unseen entity in the Raid series we haven't witnessed yet? Who knows? I'm very curious to see what's going on. But I believe that will be all from me for now. Thank you all for sitting in on this trailer with me and listening to my ramblings. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe for the channel for more Final Fantasy XIV lore content in the future. And if you haven't, make sure to just watch the trailer for yourself. Don't listen to other people tell you what to feel. Just enjoy it for yourself for once. But I'm looking forward to this patch, and I'm looking forward to experiencing it with all of you. So, until then, stay safe, my friends.